Consent means Einverständnis in German.
Consent in Lebanese is muifa.
Consent in Hindi is sehmati.
Consent in my language, that is Songkha language, it's called nawa.
Consent in Malay is kebenaran.
Consent in French is consentement.
Consent in my language, which is Sinhalese, it is called avasara denawa. It's basically, I give you consent.
Consent in Hindi, it means ijazat, and in Marathi and Gujarati, it means sahmati.
Consent in Polish is goda.
Consent in Serbian is pristanak.
In Armenian, consent is hamadzajnutun.
Consent in Spanish means consentimiento.
Consent in Filipino is pahintulot or permiso.
You have to give permission to the person whom you want to spend your time with or whom you are comfortable with. If you are not comfortable with anyone, you should protest against it.
Consent would be a clear agreement of both people that they're willing to engage in the specific act.
Consent, permission, asking a permission from other people to do an act.
Consent is the acceptance of this act.
Consent is permission, like you ask before you do something. You don't just do it like immediately.
Giving permission to do something.
Someone has to be fully aware of what they're doing. They have to be in the right state of mind and clearly state or show that they are okay with any sort of form of sexual activity.
Silent is not consent.
I would say every time you want to do something like that, you should take the consent of another person. If someone is drunk or if someone is underage, I know people underage cannot give their consent even if they say yes to that. Even that would be taking advantage. And silence definitely won't be giving a consent.
At Grand Valley, we define consent as a clear, unambiguous, and voluntary agreement between the participants to engage in specific sexual acts. Consent is not the absence of no. Consent is a clear yes. Silence, passivity, or lack of active resistance is not consent. Consent to some sexual conduct does not imply consent to others, nor does past consent to a given act imply ongoing or future consent.
Sexual assault is an sexual act, in which one person is forced to engage against his or her will.
Something similar to eve teasing, that is a big thing these days, and in my country I have seen girls feeling uncomfortable because of that.
Moreover, it's a crime against your own conscience.
We believe that any girl or any boy or any person on this earth shouldn't be violated physically or verbally.
Sexual assault is getting engaged in sexual act that without an agreement.
Sexual assault, in my opinion, is to forcing people to sexual activities they don't want to do.
Sexual assault for me is forcing someone into doing something that's sexually related against someone else's will.
The definition of sexual assault at Grand Valley State University is pretty detailed. Sexual assault includes intentional body contact that is without consent and/or by force, either by body part or by object, with the breasts, buttocks, groin, inner thigh, or genitals, or touching another with any of these body parts, or making another touch you or themselves with or on any of these body parts.
I'll go through every procedure, every legal procedure. I'll call police, I'll talk to my elders, I'll talk to my friends, I'll figure out something, and I'll raise my voice against it.
I have not been, so I cannot imagine how bad it would be, but I would definitely take the necessary measurements, go to the counseling center, seek help, seek medical tests if necessary, and I would definitely try to do something about it, because I know it's not easy to be forced to do something against your will, especially when it's something that intimate or that private.
I can call to the Grand Valley Police. I can call there. I can more easier. I think I can contact Kate.
Grand Valley is an institution that offers like so many resources that people can go to, and people who are really know how to deal with stuff that, like serious as this. So as an RA, I know specifically the people who I should talk to directly, but people who are not ready to talk face to face with someone, they have so many resources available, like Women's Center, like your RAs, your LCDs, the police department of GVSU, and many other resources that are available on campus.
There are many trained people at the university and in the community who are prepared to assist you. You are encouraged to report incidences to the Grand Valley Department of Public Safety Services. Public Safety Services officers can assist you in connecting with a variety of services, including contacting an advocate in the Women's Center, the University Counseling Center, and with transportation to a nurse examiner program. If you request an investigation, the Public Safety Services officers and the advocate will contact appropriate personnel to assist.